Humans possess a strange peculiarity. Despite the countless warnings and chilling tales, many still exhibit a fascination for probing into the decaying remains of the past. Their morbid curiosity leads them into the haunting depths of abandoned places, a perverse thrill that blurs the line between bravery and madness. And if you're watching this, then chances are you're interested too, so let's just get into this together and check out 5 freaky abandoned towns shrouded in mystery. Number 5. Portlock Village, Alaska. In the vast expanses of America's northern frontier, Alaska, where untouched wilderness, staggering natural beauty, and isolation converge, there exists a lesser-known narrative, one filled with disturbing mysteries and inexplicable phenomena. One such tale that reverberates through the cold, desolate landscapes of this imposing state is that of the deserted village of Portlock. Situated at the southern extremity of the Kenai Peninsula, Portlock is a place where history and horror intertwine. Named after Captain Nathaniel Portlock, a British naval officer who docked there in 1787, the village bloomed from an obscure outpost into a bustling settlement. Its strategic location made it a haven for explorers, industrial workers, and hunters alike. However, the tranquil facade of Portlock began to shatter in 1905. Reports emerged from a local cannery of unsettling disturbances disrupting the workers' lives. There were ghosts or something along those lines, causing things to move. People were saying they had seen shadowy figures. Whatever it was rampant. At first, it was dismissed as figments of overworked minds, but the eeriness escalated to such a degree that all the distressed workers chose to abandon their jobs entirely for the season, giving up their pay and praying for normalcy upon their return. Yet, the enigmatic incidents continued, haunting the village and its inhabitants relentlessly. This aura of dread looming over the village was not confined to spectral apparitions alone. More sinister rumors began to permeate Portlock's atmosphere in the 1930s. Rumors of inexplicable disappearances and brutal murders. Miners, loggers, and hunters vanished mysteriously in the nearby mountains, causing panic to ripple through the community. One such incident involved a local chopping wood near his cabin, who was found dead later on. And the cause of death? A single, powerful blow dealt by an entity far stronger than any human. It was not a bear. There were no claw marks. It wasn't done by an animal for food. There was no blood at all, in fact. Just a sunken-in chest that was smashed with a force so hard it broke all the ribs and stopped the heart. This revelation sent the town into a spiral of terror. While theories of a serial killer lurked in the background, an even more ominous notion took root, that of Bigfoot. A group of moose hunters fueled this belief when they came across colossal footprints along a trail, leading to a scene of a bloody struggle with no trace of the animal. The trail of the footprints disappeared into the heart of the dense forest, never to be seen again. The locals began to whisper about the Nantinak, an Aluktik term referring to a being that's half man, half beast. As fear strangled the once vibrant community, tales of a colossal, hairy figure wrecking fish wheels along the beach began to surface. One resident, in a fit of bravado, says he confronted the creature with his gun, only to find it calmly meet his gaze and walk away. The consistent ghostly encounters, coupled with the terrifying presence of a Bigfoot, led to the exodus of the villagers. By the end of 1949, Portlock, once a thriving community, stood as a chilling testament to fear, a desolate ghost town. Nature swiftly reclaimed the houses, factories, and schools, erasing any trace of human life. Occasional fishermen and hunters seeking shelter from the punishing Alaskan weather still visit Portlock, reporting an unnerving feeling of being watched by an unseen entity. The moment they sense this dread, they make haste to leave the remnants of the village behind. Today, more than 70 years since it was abandoned, Portlock remains shrouded in a palpable sense of terror. The echoes of its horrific past are entwined with its very existence, a chilling tale of mystery and fear at the heart of Alaska's unforgiving wilderness. Number 4. Cheney Village, Michigan. Picture this, a once bustling lumber town booming with life and industry, now reduced to nothing but a ghostly landscape dotted by the remnants of the past. This is Pierre, Cheney, nestled deep within Crawford County, Michigan. A town that in its prime was a beacon of progress and prosperity, now stands as a reminder of a curse that many believe to have brought about its ruin. But to truly understand Pierre Cheney, we must venture back to its beginning. The story starts in 1874 with a man named George Cheney, a visionary who dreamed of a thriving community built on the bountiful resources of the surrounding wilderness. The arrival of a land grant from the Michigan Central Railroad Company transformed this dream into a reality, leading to the rapid development of a township complete with sawmills, a general store, a post office, and hotel. As word spread, so did the town's population, swelling to an estimated 2,000 people by the late 1870s. But prosperity can be fleeting, as the residents of Pierre Cheney would soon discover. A wave of diphtheria, a highly contagious airborne disease, swept through the town in 1893, decimating much of its population. Just as the town started to recover, tragedy struck once again with a devastating fire, leaving its remaining inhabitants to grapple with loss and despair. This tale of misery doesn't end here. In 1897, diphtheria returned with a vengeance, reducing the population to a mere 25 individuals. By 1917, the town was a shell of its former self, leading local authorities to sell what was left of it in a public auction. Pierre Cheney, once bustling with life, had now become a ghost town. Today, what remains serves as an eerie testament to the tragedy that befell its people. Ghost stories and tales of the supernatural run rampant among those who dare to visit the deserted remnants. But perhaps the most chilling tale of all is that of the alleged witch, who many believe to have been the architect of the town's downfall. As legend has it, an unwed mother was accused of witchcraft and was either hanged or banished from the town. Before her departure, though, she's said to have cursed Pierre Cheney, vowing to bring about its ruin. Some even say that the fire that tore through the town was her doing, a cruel act of revenge against the townsfolk who turned their backs on her. However, these are mere speculations, stories whispered in hushed tones among the locals. What is certain is the freaky aura that seems to pervade Pierre Cheney, from the old cemetery where spectral children are heard giggling and leaving their tiny handprints on the cars of unsuspecting visitors, to the apparition of a woman believed to be the wrongly accused witch, appearing and disappearing among the trees. Despite an official curfew at dusk, Pierre Cheney continues to draw brave souls who are intrigued by its dark past and its spectral present. But whether these visitors leave with more than just an eerie story, only time will tell. Number 3. Caldara Village, India. Caldara, a town in the heart of the Thar Desert in India, is called the Ghost Village for two reasons: that of love and money. 300 years ago, Caldara was the new home to a group of people who settled there, the Palawal Brahmins, who are priests that claim to be direct descendants of Maharaj Haradas, the legendary Indian spiritual leader. The minister of the state there at the time, Salim Singh, had fallen in love with one of the high village head's daughters. He wanted to marry her very badly, but the entire populace was against this because this man was evil and demon-like, described to be extremely large in size. He was almost from another world. Because of this backlash against his desires, he then resorted to threaten the villagers and the Palawal Brahmins and their families. He warned the people of dire consequences if his proposal wouldn't be accepted. In order to save their families, all the people fled the village in a single night, which is a mystery in and of itself. How they left so quick and where they went, no one can say for sure, but before they left, the Brahmins put a curse on the town for it to never be inhabited ever again. And indeed, that is exactly what happened, and it's remained abandoned ever since. According to the locals, people wouldn't dare to spend a single night, let alone settle into one of the abandoned buildings. Those who have ventured in, various paranormal groups and curious individuals, have many strange stories of paranormal activity in the buildings. There are shadows that move and strange disembodied voices that can be heard in the dead of night. The Paranormal Society of India found handprints of children all around one morning after spending a night. Though this has been a long-running and more paranormal theory, there is another, more earthly reason why some say Caldara was abandoned. It's because the same tyrannical minister levied high taxes on the locals. It came to a point that the people could no longer survive in that town. As such, the villagers decided to ditch out to find greener pastures. For whatever reason you pick, or maybe you reject both, there's no denying the eerie energy emanating from this place. Tourists confessed how they were taken aback by the sight of uninhabited mud houses lining up in endless rows. The roofs were all gone, walls ruined, and entire structures dilapidated. It didn't help that the landscape appears dry and dusty, which gives an impression of emptiness and desolation. For the skeptics, they may be oblivious of any paranormal presence in the area, but for those who were open to such things, could certainly feel a disturbance in the metaphysical plane. Number 2. Bodhi, California. Officially founded in 1876, the town of Bodhi came to be after miners stumbled upon rich deposits of gold and silver along its rivers and hillsides. Prospectors from all around the country, even other parts of the world, flocked to the settlement in hopes of striking the mother lode. And others came to the area to provide services and goods to the miners. Business was booming. These hordes of people quickly made the town's population grow into the thousands by the late 1870s. With that overwhelming number, and it being the Wild West days of whiskey drinking, poker playing, and gunslinging, sure enough, there were many senseless brawls, killings, robberies, and any other sort of crime you could think of happening. So it didn't take long for Bodhi to earn the reputation as a sea of sin. Opium was proliferated during the time, and as one preacher said about Bodhi, this wealthy village is lashed by the tempests of lust and passion, and, if we may add, violence and lawlessness. Ultimately, as with most Western boom towns, Bodhi eventually went bust. By the 1880s, the town's gold and silver had been picked clean. Surrounding mining companies went bankrupt, which made it hard for anyone still there to make a living. Making things worse were the harsh and deadly winters that ultimately convinced many of its hopeful prospectors to ditch the town and move to a much more profitable location. And in the 1940s, the last few holding on ditched out, and as a result, the once bustling gold rush town of Bodhi has become one of the most well-preserved abandoned towns in the entire country. But not everyone thinks the place was completely abandoned. There are stories about 6 people that stayed behind, refusing to leave, but ultimately the harsh conditions drove them crazy until there was just one left. According to the tales, one of these men shot his wife, and 3 of the others then took justice into their own hands and killed the murdering husband. Not long after, the ghost of the man came back around and he would taunt the 3, who would soon go on to die of some unknown disease. And after that, the one who remained quietly left. As time has passed, Bodhi has become a very important Old West landmark in California. While before it was gold panners and miners who came to this place, today, tourists from all around visit the ghost town to take a look at its rustic grandeur. There have been times when visitors have tried to take something from the site as a souvenir, and some probably have gotten away with it, but when the park rangers and tour guides do catch you, they warn about taking anything from Bodhi, because everything here, even the tiniest pebbles, are cursed with bad luck. Misfortune and tragedy would supposedly fall upon those who steal. It would only end when those items are returned. Number 1. Lake Anjakuni Village, Nunava, Canada. Nestled in the frigid landscape, the Kivalliq region, in Nunavut, Canada, the serene village of Anjakuni Lake was an established dwelling place for a community of Inuit fishermen and beaver hunters. This quiet village, known for its natural beauty, soon turned into an eerie ghost town, a mystery that still leaves experts dumbfounded to this day. In 1930, a Canadian fur trapper, Joe LaBelle, known for his survival skills and skeptical attitude towards the supernatural, found himself unwittingly walking into a chilling enigma. It was a cold, full moon night when he first noticed that the once bustling community was bathed in an unnatural silence. A sense of foreboding filled the air, making LaBelle's heart pound in his chest as he called out greetings that bounced off the walls of the empty village unanswered. With the chilling moonlight casting long shadows, LaBelle ventured into the village. He found smoke billowing from the chimneys of the seemingly inhabited houses, fires burning warmly and meals cooking, but there was a disturbing lack of life. As he delved deeper into the village, he found more unsettling evidence. Half-eaten meals on tables, personal belongings untouched, tools, clothing, and weapons left behind, suggesting a sudden and mysterious exodus. Realizing that he was treading in a place that was a glaring anomaly, LaBelle felt the frigid Canadian wind carrying an unknown terror. He quickly alerted the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who soon arrived and confirmed his horrifying discovery. As the baffled police combed through the ghost village, they found no signs of a struggle or violence, no indication of where the villagers had gone. The mystery deepened when hunters and trappers in the vicinity came forward with accounts of a luminous object hovering in the sky over the lake days before the disappearance. This unexplained phenomena added a sinister layer to the already perplexing case. With no physical evidence to guide them, theories began to circulate. Some speculated mass abduction or murder, with the bodies being taken away, yet a lack of struggle or violence refuted this theory. And this led to wilder ideas, with ufologists suggesting the possibility of an alien abduction, citing the strange lights over the village. Decades later, the chilling case of the vanishing village of Anjakuni Lake remains an enigma. Despite numerous investigations and speculations, the fate of the villagers remains a terrifying mystery. The town itself, a haunting testament to their sudden and unexplained disappearance. So there were 5 freaky abandoned towns shrouded in mystery. If you're enjoying our content, please consider showing some love over on our Patreon page, where you get access to exclusive content and an exclusive library of over 100 videos that you won't see anywhere else. Thanks for tuning in today. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next one.